And here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, please do go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate all the subscriptions that we do get. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Facebook BWTM Facebook group, which would be BWTM Sports channel, BWTM Sports channel group. Just get in there, like the page, and we will add you to the group. Recently, we had Peter Fury join us in the group. So thank you so much, Peter, for joining us. Okay, it's football talk now. And it's Arsenal. For weeks, there was speculation that Mikel Arteta was going to join Arsenal um, as Arsenal manager. And I could understand why Arsenal were probably going to take Arteta. Wouldn't cost that much as a manager. Young, um, has been part of Arsenal before, has been Arsenal captain before, those things, and be able to stick him on a limited budget and continue to do what Arsenal have done for years. But with no real managerial experience, it was always a question mark as to how good Arteta actually could be. But again, this is no measuring stick because there are guys that we know who have been successful at some clubs and then have gone to other clubs and have been a complete flop. The players they've brought in, some players haven't gelled. The backroom staff have not worked together well, change of country. And then there are some managers in the English Premiership that they are serial losers. They fail everywhere they go, but all the time seem to get jobs. I can't seem to understand it. But I'm kind of glad that Arsenal are moving in the way of Unai Emery. He, for me personally, is a winner, and that's something that Arsenal fans. I think that for me, there are two sides with the Arsenal supporters. There are those clearly that at the end of last season, when Wenger won the FA Cup, they still wanted Wenger to go on. But Wenger hadn't done anything for years. There's that group, that mob, who clearly don't like the club and clearly don't want to see the club succeed because this is a guy that was well past his sell-by date and many of the top players were leaving the club and they could see the club wasn't moving forward. Year after year, Arsenal doing the same thing over and over and over again. And even during this season, when Arsenal were playing all-time low football, even then, there were people still sticking around saying, "Oh, let's see if he can win the Europa League." Really? What was the hope for? He wasn't good enough as a manager. His team wasn't good enough. And if previous seasons weren't enough to show you that, then I think this season's another example. And there'll be people who still deep down would want Wenger to still be at the club because some people just don't like change. Tough. Move on. This guy, Unai Emery, look, he has a track record in France. He is the former PSG manager. And let's look a little bit. Let's look a little bit into Emery. Let's see a little bit more about him, and let's hear what the media have got to say about him. So, Arsenal are set to appoint Unai Emery as their new manager. Man City assistant manager and former Gunners captain Mikel Arteta was strong favourite to succeed Arsene Wenger. Emery emerged as a unanimous choice following the recruitment process in which all candidates were spoken to. Let's be honest. Emery only recently was leaving his role, or his contract has expired. So Emery, the 46-year-old Spaniard, is available after leaving Paris Saint-Germain, where he had won the Ligue 1 title, and 4 domestic cups in 2 seasons in charge. Previously guided Seville to 3 consecutive Europa Cup League triumphs between 2014 and 2016. Well, hey, listen, this gentleman has had success in Europe, something that Arsene Wenger has never done. Meticulously experienced, successful, and still a risk. There are people out there that are doubting it. But I don't know how they can have so many doubts. These people, these skeptics, just want to be in the light because they just want to put their face out there. Because at the end of the day, why do these people have all their doubts about Arsene Wenger year after year after year not succeeding? I didn't get it. They want to jump out of the woodwork now and say, "Oh, I doubt this new manager is going to do well." No matter if they put Jesus Christ, Muhammad, and Buddha in as manager, they will turn around and say something. They're always going to jump out of the box and say, "Oh, I don't think he should," because they just want to be in the media. They just want to be relevant. So I don't listen to a lot of this stuff. Emery announced last month he would leave French champions PSG when his contract expired at the end of the season. He was also replaced by former Borussia Dortmund boss Thomas Tuchel, who was also linked to the Arsenal job. So Tuchel left Dortmund to go to PSG. So they look at PSG, they're picking quality for quality. Quality goes in, quality goes out. Emery's English is not completely fluent, but the language barrier is not expected to be a problem. An announcement and news conference are expected later this week. After Wenger's departure was announced, the betting odds of Emery replacing him were at one stage as low as 6 for 1, placing him behind the likes of former manager Tim Sherwood. Really? Really? So, as you know, people like Real Madrid, Ancelotti was one. He was a former Real Madrid and Chelsea manager. I wanted Ancelotti. I thought Ancelotti brought class. I thought Ancelotti knows the Premiership. He's a winner. He knows how to win. And why not bring him in? There was talk about Arteta, of course. Henry and Patrick Vieira. I love Henry. Love Patrick Vieira. Got no problems with Mikel Arteta. But for me, as managers, no. Assistant managers, yes. So good. That's great because Cazorla and Arteta no longer going to be at the club. Certainly didn't want to see Arteta's Cazorla as assistant manager at Arsenal. Personally, no. Well, at least the other thing will happen is probably Steve Bold will be out the door as well. The recruitment process was held by Arsenal's chief executive Ivan Katidis, head of football relations Raul Sanale, and head of recruitment Sven Mislintat. Though the final decision would have been down to majority shareholder and owner Stan Kroenke. Wenger, 68, left the Gunners at the end of the season after 22 years in charge, during which he won 3 Premier League titles and 7 FA Cup wins. Now look, just check this out a second. Check this out just for 1 second. You break that down: 7 FA Cups, but never won a game in Europe. Never won a Europa Champions League, or Europa Cup. I would have rather him leaving leaving Arsenal as at least winning the Europa League, or at least being in the final at least, once or twice in all those years. 22 years in charge and never won a Champions League. 22 years in charge and never won a Europa Cup. Arsenal never been at World Club Championships. Chelsea have done it. Liverpool have done it. Manchester United have done it. Think about that for a second. 22 years, and they've changed managements. Jose Mourinho came to Chelsea, went to Chelsea, won the Champions League, left Chelsea, went to Manchester United, picked up the Europa League. Yeah, I know they're struggling now, Man United, but still. So one of the concerns for Emery is going to be that transfer budget. Is he going to be restricted or isn't he going to be restricted? Was Arteta restricted because he was an experienced manager, or is that just that budget going to be restricted anyway? Look, I also believe this: a different manager coming in with different tactical ideas may just bring the best out of this Arsenal side, and players that we've got before that weren't playing very well may play brilliantly under him now. You just don't know. He's going to bring new ideas in. He's a guy that studies and does a lot of video analysis and watches his teams play over and over again. So I think this is a guy who's going to bring new ideas. He's fresh. This is, you know, all for you say about Wenger, he's almost stuck in a certain time zone. 22 years at the top. That's a long time. It's almost a dictatorship. And so with that, you get stuck with ideas. You're the head guy. And sometimes it gets to the point where you don't want to listen to new ideas, fresh ideas. You're not under the threat of being sacked. See, so someone like Emery has moved at different clubs. He's had to adapt and change, been under pressure. Sevilla, he's done well with, got them into the Europa finals and won Europa. So he's won in Europe. So nobody can really knock his record. Now let's look at his record and let's see where he's been. So in 2005, 2006, he was at Lorca Deportiva. And then 2006 to 2008, it was at Almeria. And then from 2008 to 2012, it was at Valencia. And then from 2012, he was at Spartak Moscow. And in 2013 to 2016 was at Sevilla, Spain again. And then from 2016 to 2018, he was at Paris Saint-Germain. So, I mean, 3 years, 2-3 years, you get out of this guy potentially. So we'll see. But he's got experience. He's got experience. He's travelled from Spain to Spartak Moscow, France. So he's done it. A B, maybe the French league isn't the strongest of leagues. Paris Saint-Germain has some wonderful players there, but we'll have to wait and see. He's done well in Europa. Can he now take, Arsenal to a Champions League? I don't know, but I damn well know he's got more recent success. And I said I'd rather, because if you win the Europa League, there's always a chance you're playing. If you win the Europa League, you're going to play in a Champions League Super Cup final. You know what I mean? So I like this guy. I like what this guy's about. Success. Arsenal fans have forgotten what real success is. Winning a tin cup in the FA Cup. No disrespect to the FA Cup, but a team of Arsenal standing should be talking Champions League football, winning the Premiership, and challenging the best teams in the world. Not, coming fourth, trying to get fourth to qualify for a Champions League, and you don't even qualify for the Champions League this year either. So it's a great season for Emery to build, stabilize, build, and move on. We got some top players at Arsenal. It's about getting rid of some of those players, some of that dead wood, bringing in some fresh ideas. And I think his new ideas of coaching will be a breath of fresh air. And I back this new manager all the way. Thumbs up for me for Emery. He's young, he's youthful, he's got lots of ideas. He's a winner. He's a proven winner. So, and who knows? Arsenal might just be his club where the best of him comes out, where he's learned his trade. He's had time from 2005 to 2018 to really learn his trade. So now he can really go out there and along the way of learning his trade, hey, now he comes to the Premiership. The Premiership might just be the place which is making of him. The Premiership could also be the place of the breaking of him. But hey, I think as long as Arsenal give him a few years to actually say, look, we expect you to win the Premiership in the first season and do all these great things. Look, let's qualify for the Champions League. Let's get back into the Champions League for 2019-2020 season. Let's get into the Champions League. Let's build a squad that knows. Let's start building that whole philosophy of winning. And winning is important. And philosophy of let's try and win the Premiership this year. If not win the Premiership, let's try and get as close to the Premiership title as possible. And let's have a team that's going to try and win the Premiership. That mentality, as opposed to let's try and get to fourth place, which has been the motto for Arsenal fans. Many Arsenal fans, they've signed up and been almost brainwashed by Wenger's lack of ambition and thinking more about money than actually trying to win a Premiership. It's going to be strange for Arsenal fans having a guy that wants to win the Premiership. And you'll see that Arsenal fans, there'll be some Arsenal fans who are so brainwashed into the way of Wenger, they're going to struggle with a guy who's successful. They're going to struggle with a guy who's going to make changes. But to me, I support Emery all the best. And my friend, welcome to Arsenal Football Club, and do what you need to do to be the best Arsenal manager possible. to not only emulate what Wenger has done and go on to do more than what Wenger has done. And wouldn't it be something if Emery came and all these doubters around about Emery, and in 2 or 3 seasons he wins the Champions League, something Arsene Wenger never did in 22 years. Think about that. Think about that. 3 years. Let's see what this guy can do. He's got the ability to win a Europa League. He can do it. He's done it with Sevilla. So, hey, it'll be interesting who comes in and who goes out of Arsenal now. Right. I think that's it. As always, don't forget to rate and subscribe and leave your comments. We've got people talking here. Good evening, Ashley. Hope that you're well. See, we've really got a hater in the room. He's really thumbs down the fact that Emery is now going to be Arsenal. He's going to be new Arsenal manager. He's probably one of those supporters that like seeing Arsenal loser. So happy with the appointment. Can't wait to see how this works out. I think most Gunners are happy for it. It's not Arteta. If we're going to go, says Ashley Lewis, going to be given an inexperienced candidate, the chance would have been preferred Vieira. I think Vieira too would have been my choice if we were going to go inexperienced. I can't see Emery winning a league title straight away, but I can see him having a lot of cup success. I'm excited to see our style of attack being more direct and our defense be more drilled and awake. It's something I saw the other day with Unai Emery's defense, and I love that sort of play. His defense were able to hold the ball past three passes between the defense, and then the keeper kicked the ball wide to the left back, and the left back starts running down the wing to cross the ball into the box to score a goal. To cross the ball into the box for a goal. That's the sort of football I like to see. So he's solid at the back. The defense is a very solid back that can play from the back. The team that can play from the back are very dangerous because being able to play from the back and then be able to counter is beautiful. And I'm looking forward to seeing that kind of football from Arsenal. So welcome to the club, Unai Emery. I am very excited about this announcement, press conferences this week, and I'm backing him 100% all the way. If you don't like Unai Emery and you're an Arsenal fan, and that person that's hit the dislike button, if you're just hitting the dislike button for the sake of hitting the dislike button, then, fair enough. But if you're going to hit the dislike button, explain why you've hit the dislike button. Explain why you don't like the idea that Unai Emery is the new Arsenal manager. Are you a guy or girl that prefers Arsenal to be manager? Did you want Mikel Arteta to be manager? Who did you want to be manager if you dislike in the video? You probably just dislike the video because you dislike me. Oh, well, never mind. So, this is it from BWTM Sports. Let's not hate at Arsenal. Let's be supportive of Unai Emery. Let's welcome success. Let's welcome change. Let's welcome a Champions League title to Arsenal. Let's welcome the FA Cup. Let's welcome the Premiership. Let's welcome the triple, win the quadruple. Let's welcome those things. Let's welcome success. Let's welcome being the best team in the world. Let's welcome those ideas. Let's welcome those ideas. With success will come money anyway. Let's welcome the best teams in the world, the best players in the world coming to Arsenal once again. Let's welcome that. Let's welcome the best players in the world wanting to come to Arsenal. Let's welcome pride as an Arsenal player. Let's welcome success. Let's welcome Arsenal beating not only the small teams, but beating the bigger teams. Let's welcome Arsenal being better than Tottenham this next season and the seasons to go moving forward. Let's welcome success. And let's kick out mediocrity. Let's kick out trying to get fourth to win the Champions League place, but actually trying to win the Premiership. Let's kick out having mediocre players playing week in, week out for Arsenal. Let's kick out losing to small teams. Let's welcome success. So again, welcome Unai Emery with open arms to Arsenal. Welcome success. This is BWTM Sports, and I'm out.